Hey guys, how you doing today? Just me again. I'm really looking forward to working with you on day one. Now, just quickly, I know I said yesterday to really listen to your heart, listen to your soul, and try and connect with that throughout this process. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. They could be tough questions like, what do you want out of life? What is your purpose? Now, for me, I know my purpose, besides my kids and my family, my purpose is to really help people. That's something I'm so passionate about. And if you said to me, what is your purpose? My heart says to help people. Now, the thing is, when we're making decisions, when we're answering questions, when we're thinking about things, we have these little voices that go around in our head, right? So we might ask you a question and you'll have that instant intuition, instinct reaction. That's what we want to write down. That's what we're focusing on in this process, and that's what we want to hear from. But then our head starts to go, like the logic, the reason. Can I really do this? Should I really do this? Like, what if? Okay, so we really want to block all of that out. We're only doing exercises. We're only doing this between us. We're doing this on paper. We're doing this, in a very small, private group, so you can feel comfortable and confident to share things, right? It's not until the very end that we're going to unleash this little angel to the world. So right now you can feel comfortable, you can feel confident, and you can just open up. You can share as much or as little as you like throughout this process, but what I really want you to do is listen to that inner voice, that heart, that soul, that reason, that spirit. But forget about this one. Now, it can be really confusing sometimes. When you're first looking at something like this, it's like, well, which one is it? Like, the voices I'm hearing, like, we've got this constant conversation happening within our head, but which one is my heart and my soul, and which one is like that voice of reason? Sometimes the two can be really confusing, and sometimes they sort of mesh together. Well, I'll tell you one thing, your heart will be screaming at you. When you're going against it, it will be telling you again and again and again. Often we feel resistance, like we might go, our heart might say, do this, and we go, oh, but, and then if we decide not to do it, we have that sort of resistance against going with our gut, going with our heart, going with our soul. So what I really want you to do is something very, very simple. If you come up against that type of moment from within this process, I want you to just put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and just to yourself, take a couple of deep breaths in and then ask yourself the question. So like, look at my necklace. How awesome is this, right? It was ridiculously expensive and I didn't want to buy it, but I kept being drawn back to this stand. I kept being drawn back to this necklace, and I was like, oh, I should get it. Like, I want it. I feel connected to it. But then it was like, but it's expensive. I don't spend that sort of money on stuff. I don't need it. Okay. And I started to talk myself out of it in my head, but I knew that my heart kept telling me, you need it, you want it, right? And it's something really simple. Like, I'm using a very simple example for this. But then I went like this, and I went, should I buy the necklace? And I hear yes, instantly. But then I go, oh, but it's expensive. Oh, but I'd have to take money from here. Oh, but should I do that? So throughout this process, if there's any moment where you're thinking, which one's my head voice, which one's my heart voice, which one's my soul voice, which one's this voice and which one's that voice? Like, what's this conversation that's happening within my head? What's the right answer? Well, there isn't a right answer, because we're talking about you. We're talking about what you want, not what I want. We're talking about you and your path and where you're going. But you really need to listen to the right voice. So if you have that noise in your head, if you have that that confusion, that conversation that's happening from within you, and you're thinking, which one should I be listening to? Close your eyes, hand on your chest, a couple of deep breaths in, and just ask yourself the question, and that instant reaction that you have, that's what you want to write down. So I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. It is tomorrow now, Thursday, that we begin day one of this process. And if you're jumping in later, go #day1. You can click search at any time and start day one as soon as it's available and as soon as you're here. So welcome. Looking forward to working with you all, and let's go and get it. Unleash that inner angel to the world. Have an awesome day, guys, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on day one.